All right, welcome back. Now we're going to talk about the incredibly important experience section. So the experience section must clearly show the timeline of your career to date. In the American resume context, recruiters want to see your work in reverse chronological order. So you list your most recent job first and go back from there. So you want to list the organization and position title on the left. It doesn't matter which is above the other. And you want to have the dates and the location on the right. This allows recruiters to quickly scan your resume to get an idea of the number of years of professional experience you have. It's one of the first things they do. You can align your bullet points to the left margin. This will give you a little extra space. Make sure the spacing and formatting are consistent all across all bulleted text. The experience section should be inclusive of both paid and unpaid work. Volunteer work or internships are just as important as paid work, and they show your consistent interest in professional growth within an industry, especially if it's relevant to the job you're applying to. Also, many students will have spent a part of their recent professional experience doing like service sector jobs, waiting tables, making espressos as a barista, working summer or part-time admin assistant roles. Most of these positions don't need to be on your resume unless they demonstrate that you can handle responsibility, or if you were promoted, or if it shows that you've been working yourself through college. It can show that you can handle a lot of responsibility at once and you can work really hard. It can demonstrate a lot of different things depending on what you're applying to. Honestly, overall, think about times where you took initiative or developed or created something new. What projects or tasks were given to you because you were so good at them? What were your unique accomplishments? So for the content of this section, you want to use the STAR method for your bullet points. This is the most important part of your resume. So the STAR method, these bullet points are going to be showing your competencies that you've gained in the past and to be as relevant as possible for the job you're applying to. Start with listing everything you did in your various experiences. So the STAR method is describe the situation you were put into or the task you were assigned to complete, actions you took to complete the task, and the results, STAR. Make sure you're trying to match the language that's being used in the job description you're applying to. Use their words from their required or desired qualifications and incorporate them into your experience section. Each STAR bullet should begin, to the extent possible, with a power verb, like managed, completed, assessed. Stay away from passive words like participated, assisted, observed. Those of you without very much experience in your target area should focus on and highlight your transferable skills. These are more generic professional skills applicable to any professional role. They're often more important than job-related skills. These include information management, design and planning, research and investigation, human relations, interpersonal skills. Feel free to pause this slide if you want to look at the STAR method. So once you've got your bullet points, you'll want to work on refining even further. You want to take extra care to be efficient with what you're trying to say. You can say less with more. I've got two examples I can show you of where we corrected a Ms. student's resume. So in her original resume, the organization, position title, dates, and location are all on one line and make it harder to track for recruiters looking to easily scan the resume. The funky diamond formatted bullet points are distracting and unnecessary. Worked with is a passive way to describe an accomplishment, and there are some redundancies in the descriptions of what this person did. There's definitely room to say more with less. So after talking to the student about her work and experience in this position, and then changing the formatting a little bit to make it more in line with what we've been advising you to do, we spread out the key information about the organization, positional titles, dates, and location, making this formatting style more easily scannable. The streamlined bullets are aligned to the left to give more space for the accomplishment statements, and they're overall less distracting and more professional looking. We used better power verbs and overall said more with less. Now this position takes up a little less space, shows the same level of accomplishments, and overall leaves room for more content in the rest of the resume. So finally, at the end of your resume, depending on your space, you have a few different options to close out your resume. As a recruiter, when I read this far into your resume, I was looking at the whole package. Who is this person we're considering hiring? If you don't have a lot of experience, oftentimes your coursework and projects can demonstrate a high level of knowledge and relevant competencies. and also include a lot of keywords that employers may be looking for, especially for policy analyst positions. So consider listing some of your best papers in a project section. You can list the title of the paper and 2 to 4 bullet points of what you covered or learned about. With all the papers you write at MIS and the effort you're putting into them, you're getting valuable expertise on sometimes very specialized topics. Other end sections can include things unique to you, such as other skills that aren't super important to the job you're applying to, but that demonstrate your other capabilities. If you're a member of a board for an organization or you're a member of an association, that can be listed here. You don't have to get personal here. Things like hobbies or personal interests are not necessarily relevant. There are also occasions in resumes where you have to cover a gap of time, either due to personal reasons or other circumstances, and the past experience from that time might not be relevant to the job you're applying to. In cases like that, you could list a position where you say various positions with a date and a bullet stating that from this time to that time, you're working in that other sector in various positions. This is usually best for totally unrelated positions where there is limited transferable experience. It's rare, but sometimes this is your case. So thanks for listening. We're concluding the resume class here. Make sure you update your resume with all the guidance we've just provided. In the next career management class meeting, we'll build on the changes you've made after going through these presentations. So please bring your resume to class, either in electronic or printed format. Be prepared to discuss it with your peers. You'll be helping each other improve your resumes, and we'll of course be there to facilitate. In the Canvas page, I've posted an article called Harvard Perfect Resume, as long as this Harvard Extension School Guide. So look there for more detailed advice. It has a list of power verbs, a set of templates you can use for inspiration. I've also included the actual template that I used in this presentation. So the next step is to please upload your resume to Canvas, incorporate all the formatting. Like I said, we'll work in class to refine your resume and answer any questions you may have. I'm excited to spend 6 seconds scanning all of your resumes. Thanks again for all your work in class, and I will see you soon.